this main one right here, like, moves its head and looks at him.
Dogman, the canine cryptid we've all come to know and fear. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Brookster Watches. Today, we're going to be taking a look at 3 of the scariest sightings and stories of Dogman from Arkansas. Yes, Arkansas. Don't forget to hit that like button, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I do upload these videos very often. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a walk into the forest. Some topics in this video are of a sensitive nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, Wolfpack, so this first one right here is by the BDRP Supernatural on YouTube, and it's called the Hot Springs, Arkansas Dogman. So I'm very interested. Make sure you go give them a like.
It was December 1996. My girlfriend and I just broke up. So a couple of buddies of mine decided I needed to get away and put all the nonsense that woman had put me through behind me, even though I was guilty of a fair share of it. So we went to, of all places, Hot Springs, Arkansas. I'd always wanted to go, and they said that hot springs there truly did have some sort of a healing quality, almost magical quality to them. So we spent a fantastic weekend in Hot Springs, got drunk, bathed in the springs themselves, snuck out of our hotel room, raided the mini fridge in other people's hotels. I was about 22, 23 at the time, so I have an excuse for that ignorant type of behavior. It was so cold, and mist and fog and drizzle from rain made the roof ridiculously slippery. One of my buddies almost fell off. I forget which of us was coherent enough to realize that it was a very, very bad idea to be playing around on a roof of a hotel that we'd just broken into at least 5 rooms, drank all the liquor out of the mini fridges, so we decided to go back inside. I was starting to sober up and still somewhat heartbroken. I took a walk. There was a stream near our hotel. It wasn't very wide, wasn't very deep, but it flowed. You can tell that the hotel management took care to decorate the part of the stream that flowed past their hotel. There were park benches and picnic areas. As I walked along this stream, I saw something very strange. Now, mind you, this is in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Not like this is a jungle. As I approached the tree line, the path to the left went back towards more hotels, a restaurant. The path towards the right went towards this rural-looking area, very, very thick trees. I don't know if there was any businesses behind them or not, but I didn't want to find out because, again, it was nighttime and it was very, very thick. There was no lights in this part of the park that they had built around the stream. In between the thicker part of the forest and the forest that bled into business areas like the hotels and restaurants was the stream. On that stream, which wasn't very deep, I saw a large, ridiculously large figure that looked like it had ears on the top of its head, walking back and forth through the stream. You could hear its feet sloshing the water. First, I thought it was one of my idiot friends who had decided to do something else ridiculous, maybe catch pneumonia, but that was a very, very short and brief thought. Again, it was very, very cold, and who would wander around in water in that type of temperature? That and it didn't explain the unnaturally dark color or the Batman-like ears that stuck out from the top of its head. It was still a good 65 yards away from me, but I could see it plain as day, even with the limited light. As I drew nearer, I stopped and was hit with just terrible fear. I had a very uneasy sense about this figure, this being. As I stopped and stared at this creature, my heart began to beat faster and faster. I thought I was going to have a panic attack. I'd also noticed that it picked up its pacing and sloshing through the creek. I slowly began to retreat. I started backing up in my own footsteps. Once I had moved back at least 20 yards, it stopped right in the middle of the creek and looked at me.
Oh, hey.
I froze, still as a statue. All I could think of was my girlfriend. All the problems that we'd had fell in comparison to what I was looking at. I knew death was right behind this creature. Like a lightning flash, it charged me on 2 feet, and then it dropped down to all 4. And it cleared the space of 40 yards like it was nothing. Like a fool, I stood there and watched it until I realized what was taking place. It almost took my mind a minute to catch up, because the scene was so surreal. I turned and sprinted back towards the hotel as fast as I could. I was an athlete in high school, so I got some speed on me. That's when I realized this thing was behind me the entire time. I could feel its breath on the back of my neck. I could smell it. It smelled like death. I could hear its feet hitting the moist ground. I ran even faster. Then all of a sudden, it stopped. I didn't care to look back. I just kept running. I made it back to the hotel, went up to my room. My friends were already passed out. Unfortunately, I couldn't sleep, nor would I be able to sleep for the next 4 days. The entire trip was ruined. Everyone thought that I had gotten a hold of some bad drugs or was hallucinating, or maybe I did fall off the roof and hit my head, but I told them the exact same thing I'm telling you now. Of course, they didn't believe me. I've never seen anything like this creature before, nor have I since. I pray that everyone stays safe. I really wasn't a religious person until I had this experience. Then I started reading the Bible, attending church every now and then. If that monster is real, then other things that we were told aren't.
That's crazy. Guys, wow. Make sure you go give the BDRP Supernatural a like, okay? That was a crazy story. What do you think? I definitely think he's seen a dog man. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, guys, so this one is kind of different. I usually don't do things like this right here, but at the end of it, it kind of surprised me, so I had to share it. It's kind of a sad, bad story, so viewer discretion advised. There is some sensitive topics talked about on this particular one, okay? And it's called The Legend of the Dog Boy. And it says, in Little Rock, Arkansas, some people who live in Cleburne County believe in ghosts. So it says, longtime resident Nelda Kennedy says that the Garrett family erected one of the Quitman's finer homes in about 1890. That one of its residents was, in fact, a part of the World War I era. There's been many sightings of ghostly apparitions even at that time. But it says Floyd and Annie Bettis moved into a large house in this large house in the 1950s. The couple, childless for many years, had a son, Gerald Floyd Bettis. Gerald was actually a difficult child from early on, and it was reported that people seen him get dogs and cats and bring them into his house and actually, like, quote unquote, torture them, and the neighbors could hear like the howls and the screams and stuff like this. Now, why this wasn't addressed, I have no idea, but I mean, I guess back then, people, they were more like hush hush about this kind of thing for some reason. They basically called him like a brat. He was very mean and stubborn and just, didn't have a good attitude. He actually had a lot of problems with the kids at school. Like, he wanted to actually be picked on and wanted their attention and stuff like that. It says his actions actually turned more sinister, like when his parents got a little bit older. When he got a little bit older, he actually ended up being a 6'4", over 300-pound huge man, and he would actually abuse his parents, like beat them, push them down the stairs. And they're elderly, they can't really defend themselves and stuff like that. And he was just really mean to them, okay? Like, I mean, it's just crazy. So his dad actually ended up passing away, but he was like throwing his dad out windows, and like, it's just really crazy. And then finally, like, the last straw was when he was abusing his mother, and I think a nurse actually caught him saying to his mother, if you tell anybody, I'm going to get you arrested and put in jail. Like, yeah, okay, buddy. His uncle actually said that he was afraid of Gerald because his eyes seemed to even glow at nighttime, okay? Like, in the 80s, he actually had like the house to himself, and he built a sunroom, and he was like growing drugs out on his sunroom and stuff. And they finally did get him arrested for the crimes and abuse against his mother and the drug growing and stuff like that. So, but he actually died in May 1988 at the age of 34. And with all this, like, you know, with all the things that went on and stuff, and they actually had a nickname for him. They called him the Dog Boy. Okay, so that is where all this comes in. Years go by, and, you know, these people that are over the house, they keep trying to sell this house, and they can't because there's a lot of paranormal evil activity that goes into this house. Actually, a paranormal research team that went in to investigate the house, they actually caught a capture of a figure, and one of them said that they actually seen a wolf-like or cat-like creature that resembled the boy, the dog, the quote-unquote dog boy in this town. He was really huge. He had long fur, but it was like more like a paranormal experience, and the entity just went right by him, and they said they could tell it was this man, Gerald, the dog boy. And it was just crazy how much evidence they got in this house. A couple that actually lived in the house said there was lots of paranormal activity that went on. Like the lights would go off. Like when they went to work, the lights would be off. And then when they come back from work, the lights would be on. And the wife of the people who last lived there actually seen pennies floating down the staircase. Okay. I mean, this is crazy. And like one of the guys that was like working on the house actually seen boards sticking up straight, just standing up on its own. And they've seen a lot of like World War I soldiers and their attire there, like peeking through the windows and stuff like that. Very, very strange stuff. But the one that got me was like the werewolf cat. They called it like a cat werewolf looking creature that was supposed to be Gerald, which is kind of fitting since, you know, what he did. So this was just like someone who is like just very chemically imbalanced, but possibly still haunting the residents. I just thought that was super, super interesting because it mentioned the dog boy and how he kind of looked like werewolfish in his paranormal quote unquote ghost state. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, Wolfpack. So this one right here was actually sent to me by a subscriber named John. He says, "Hi, I captured a dogman on my phone in Arkansas. I'll send you a couple pictures." And he says he's not interested in recognition or feedback, but I'm welcome to use these pictures on here. So this is actually what he captured. And that's crazy because I can see like the ears, but I know a lot of people will say this is going to be quote unquote blurry. And it is, you know, we never can seem to get a really good picture of Dogman. But to me, I feel like this is pretty good evidence right here. There actually looks like there's something right there to the left of him as well. I don't know, that could be another Dogman since they run in packs. It looks like it might be on all fours looking at him, if you see what I'm saying. I'll circle that. But yeah, this is actually what he caught in southwestern Arkansas. That is crazy. Like I can actually see the arms, the head, the ears, and the part that creeps me out is the other one looking at it too. That is so crazy, guys. Yeah, and he says like in the live photo, you know how they move a little bit? It says he moves and it looks at him. Like this main one right here, like moves its head and looks at him and then moves back. So I thought that was really interesting, guys. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. And John, thank you so much for sending in this evidence. Please, guys, if you have any evidence like this, send it to me, okay? And I'll share it on here, all right?
Well, everyone, what did you think about those 3 sightings and stories of Dogman in Arkansas? Let me know in the comments below. Also, guys, have you got evidence of Dogman, Bigfoot, anything paranormal? You have any stories I can tell? Send them to me. You can email me or you can comment down below. I want to give a shout out to all of the members of the channel. Guys, thank you so much for what you do. I know I haven't put out a members video yet, but that's because I'm working on a very good one for you, okay, guys? So just be patient with me. Thank you so much for dropping by. And until next time, I will see you in the next. Bye.